people come to the Toledo Zoo and they look at the animals, they may not realize that almost every animal that they see was raised in captivity, usually part of what we call an SSP, or Species Survival Plan. Aquariums are a little different. Some of the animals that we have in aquariums still come from the wild, just like much of the seafood that you would see in a supermarket. So what we want to do here at the Toledo Zoo is look at ways that we can make getting those animals from the wild as beneficial for the population as possible, and that's called sustainability. My staff for the last 2 years has focused on ways to increase sustainability of our collection. And that's really important because that means that fewer animals have to come from the wild. Even though the number of animals that comes from the wild for the Toledo Zoo Aquarium is really tiny in the grand scheme of things compared to how many fish are taken from the ocean for seafood, every little bit helps. If you take too many animals out of the wild, that's unsustainable. And that's happening with some seafood products. And there's ways that you can actually pick the type of seafood that you make for dinner to choose seafood choices that are more sustainable. But we do have to catch animals from the ocean and bring them here for our exhibit so that people here at Toledo can see the animals. And we want to make sure that we do that in the way that's most sustainable. Behind me in our 90,000-gallon reef tank are a number of sharks. All the sharks in this exhibit were raised at other aquariums and sent to us before we opened. And so that's very sustainable because, like all other zoo animals, they didn't really come from the wild. But then some of the smaller fish in this exhibit were raised in captivity in fish farms in the Indo-Pacific area, and then some of them were caught in the wild. And it's really important to understand that when you capture fish from the wild, that if they're cared for properly, so that there aren't losses of fish due to accidents or problems, and you make sure that they're collected in areas where there's plenty of fish in the sea, that it can be sustainable. Another thing that I'm doing is working with public education. So a lot of people have home aquariums. If we can teach home aquarists how to keep their fish alive better in their own aquariums, then that increases the sustainability because fewer fish come from the ocean than to replace those that might have died. The mandate of the Toledo Zoo Aquarium is to inspire our visitors to really want to conserve the underwater world. For the kids, we want to just inspire them, get them excited and interested. For the adults, we want to give them the information that they can take home to make better choices as consumers. And to do that, we have to be able to show the great diversity that's seen in the oceans. And to do that, you have to have lots of different animals. So we have giant octopus, we have the sharks behind me, there's piranha, and we have a touch tank with stingrays in it that the kids can access and really get hands-on and really get excited about. We raise jellyfish behind the scenes here. We raise some endangered species called Victorian cichlids behind the scenes. And then we work with other organizations. We trade animals back and forth with different aquariums so we can get captive raised animals. And one thing that I'm doing right now is getting a group of public aquariums in the United States, which are part of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the AZA. I'm spearheading a program where we will all work together to ensure that when we do bring in wild-caught animals, that they come in from the best possible fish collectors.